damage and AoE that comes off Azir hits everyone. Nidalee doesn't do that. She spreads teamfights out, and it just makes very little difference what that jungler does.
Yeah, well, we'll see exactly what happens this time around. We are into Champion Select, ladies and gentlemen, as it's Alistair Thresh being banned away from WE and Bard Karma being banned on the side of RNG. And look, if you're coming in for the first time, you may just assume that that's 4 support bans already taken away. Of course, that Karma is meant for the mid lane there. GA happy to pick that one up over and over again, especially in their series against Vici. We'll see what happens now, but that's definite adaptation here from RNG. And Azir going to be taken away, so WE just don't want to deal with it, don't want to pick it, don't want to leave it up. And Lysandra from 957. So, Ryze once again left up. This time it is going to go into the hands of WE.
So Ryze picked up 957 can play it, Xie can play it. So it is a flex pick. I like the bans this time around. A lot of focus on the supports, and when it's Zero versus Mata, you understand exactly why. Because both of them have had pretty close to MVP performances. Mata even picked one up when their teams won these games. And Graves getting high priority. I love this out of the team.
Well, RNG actually going to take away the Trundle and the Graves this time around, so making sure that they're not letting any of that through from WE. Does mean, of course, that WE can do something very similar to what RNG did in game number 1. On the other hand, Varus being looked at here by GA.
Sivir Ryze would just be such a strong combo. Right now, throw a Kindred on top of it for good measure. You got yourself a composition Atlas.
You do. But Braum, sort of the one last support in the top tier.
Well, I expect that to be a support Trundle anyway.
Well, yeah.
And he's pretty damn top tier too, so.
We'll see. It is going to be the Poppy picked up, though. 957 opting into that one. And Mystic back onto the Lucian one more time. Throwing the gauntlet, saying, pick the Sivir. I don't care. I want to just run over the top of you one more time. 4 seconds to go. That is going to be Lucian locked in. Poppy there as well. So WE already some powerful laners being put up. And Name thinking about the Kalista.
Would make some sense. Sivir isn't really working out right now. Get some utility into your AD carry. Also the fact that Sivir doesn't like Ryze at all. No way to get out of his clutches once he grabbed you that first time.
Well, we'll see what Xiaohu decides to go with as well. I mean, it gives them the opportunity to go for some sort of triple AD carry comp, something like that. Xiaohu could jump on something like the Corki. Was one of the first players to start using him in the mid lane. We saw it work out pretty well for, in fact, WE. In their final game against Vici. But Echo has been left open. And Looper, you can see him on your screen right now, just nodding, saying, yep.
Still pretty flexible. Can be mid lane.
Well, MLXG is the jungler that plays him as well, so I mean, there could be a Graves top. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, that one I don't expect.
No?
No, only really 957 I think has played Graves top in the LPL.
Yeah, well, it definitely hasn't been Looper. Promise you that much. And he has. He's played it once, the old 957. Nice litter. But doesn't really feel like a Xiaohu champion.
Tank Echo's an anyone champion right now.
Just play it. Who cares?
Ooh, that's a dominant lane down bottom.
The old Janna Lucian.
Janna Lucian, yeah. Massive.
Unleash the Mystic.
Freeze frame.
Yeah. So let's just take stock of the champion.
You're not freezing. There you go. That's better. I like it. All right, cool. Yeah, let's take stock of the champion select. Janna Lucian would be a dominant lane. Like as far as 2v2 goes, oh, we got the music back. That's pretty good. Apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, have some slight technical difficulties right now. We'll work through them. Hopefully, get it back to you. There we go.
And we get to hang out here in the mid. So that's very, very exciting. It is going to be Condi picking up the Nidalee, though. So we're going to take the reverse matchup. And Xiaohu back on the LeBlanc. Really scary stuff for the mid laner out of RNG. Does make Looper the Echo towards the top side.
Is it scary this time? Because LeBlanc kind of thrived in what was a control lane matchup. Ryze, I feel, if you ever use double distortion, especially once he has a tier and Catalyst, he's just going to run at you and try and delete you off the map. He's much tankier, goes very naturally towards a third item, Abyssal. I like this matchup a lot more for Xie than I did when it was Azir versus LeBlanc. So I think that there is ways for them to win it this time around. They also have a fantastic kiting comp here And once they go all in, you can see how they absolutely pile in and kill one person.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And do you think that the Nidalee fits a little bit more in this comp as well? I mean, making sure that you can sort of, I guess, help with that kite back?
Well, I like Nidalee Poppy. The reason being is that Nidalee Poppy, they pick a person and destroy them. Poppy gets them into a wall. Nidalee has a free sphere, free pounce, and all the execute damage that comes out. So I actually like Nidalee with Poppy. And this isn't a composition that relies on everyone being in. I mean, you have Ajana, Lucian, and Ryze. They're able to skirt team fights very, very well. So you have a much more flexible composition this time that will come out of Team WE. So because everyone's not expected to kind of join the party, it's going to be, I think, a very different feel.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, is the low range going to be a little bit of a problem here? Do you think that the disengage available out of the Janna that we haven't seen too much of recently going to help out
We see it a lot in North America.
Yeah.
So I think that people have realistically seen a little bit more of it. I think that Janna is a lane bully in this particular game because she is with that Lucian, and I have the Storm, and Lucian just is fantastic. Lucian scales very well off AD. When I look down the line, I don't know if there is actually that winning lane that we're looking for, unless it is that Echo versus Poppy matchup, but I've seen it go both ways, Atlas. I think generally the better player just wins that one. And right now, 957 looks like he's on fire.
Well, we are into Summoner's Rift here as, like you said, 957 going to be taking the Poppy there towards the top side of the map. Lupa going to try and answer the best he can with this Echo. And it all comes down to this. RNG 2-1. So still match point.
You're really quiet on Summoner's Rift right now, Atlas.
Yeah. There it is, finally.
You can feel the tension. 0 versus Marta. Oh, slap him. Got him. 11 gold. Is it going to happen again? Oh, outplayed Marta. 19 gold.
Well, pack it up.
Hang your head in shame, sir.
Let's just go to game number 5. We are done here. 0 created the lead that he
Wouldn't it
needed.
be great to have a game number 5?
Yeah.
WE, to me, they just... I'm not going to call them a fine wine. They're getting towards vinegar a little bit, but they do certainly get a little bit better with age. And
they're a port. Let's go with a port.
Yeah, I like that.
One of the
bit rough
ones.
around the edges.
Yeah. Yeah. Wolf Blast, maybe. That's going a bit deep. I don't know
that's a bit
that's,
Australian.
Yeah,
I don't know if other people
followed
followed that one.
Yeah, it's also just take crappy port. That's what it is. Looper and MLXG though. I'll start.
It's
going to
be a lane
here.
swap. So Trundle and Kalista want absolutely nothing to do with this. Although maybe a deep invade coming out.
They're trying to get in there and get something done.
Here we go.
And immediately everyone just gets the heck out of there. They're
They
like,
force
nah.
him off that side of the jungle. Take blue buff. Do something crazy, WE. Oh no, it's happened on the other side as well. What a disaster.
Well, you can see Name actually just going to move straight towards the top side. They do manage to get their lane swap. That is very good. Different to what happened last game, once again. Xiaohu threw down a distortion, but you're right. The answering damage, a little bit of a different story this time.
Yeah, certainly. I don't think Ryze is going to be all that much phased by LeBlanc's shenanigans. Also builds into Merctread's Abyssal very well. I already briefly mentioned it, but Merctread's very good against LeBlanc, just because Chains is one of the things that you rely on, and then being able to shrug that off and continue to run at her will be a good thing. Oh, nails.
Beautiful. Joe's farming just fine. Nails the Q.
That's some damage in response.
I think that still works. Still definitely works, as RNG have sent 3 members here towards the top side of the map, smacking down on this turret as best they can. And Marta...
I like to talk about it a lot. Trundle's one of the few supports that has an attack speed steroid. Yeah. So it actually makes relatively short work of turrets, as Name needs to be real careful. He nearly died there tanking up the creep wave.
There's another Time Winder. He may just die, as Jie could be in trouble here. End of the line comes down. All too easy, as Xiaohu's going to be able to grab the first blood. And what happens when you have an even matchup? Send MLXG there and kill him.
Exactly right. MLXG does half of his jungle, doesn't continue to do any more, and just takes the life of the mid laner instead. That was a heads-up play. Teleport will be burnt, but that is a couple of CS that he's going to miss out on, as well as first blood going over to the LeBlanc. So you're right. Equal matchup no longer is the case.
And that is going to be Fiendish Codex picked up in response. No tier available here for GA, so it's going to be put a little bit further behind. Does grab himself a Ruby Crystal,
This is dangerous. I want to... Well, the turret did fall in top lane. I was going to say, there was a potential window there where 957 could have teleported back towards the top side of the map, because they had sent back Name and Mata very early. Now means the Name-Mata push starts incredibly quickly as well. Not much experience or gold to be gained by 957 for sticking around in that lane.
See whether they're going to be able to make use of it here. Is actually, Rise is going to be backing. Grabs himself a Sapphire Crystal there as well. Understands that he doesn't want to be moving up too far in this lane, especially without the flash.
And this is one of those things where people are like, no tier Rise first, that's going to set him back. It will, but because you build Roller first, you generally sit on tier for that long that like it's stacked like 2 times over for your Seraphs anyway by the time you actually get to upgrade into your Seraphs. So it's one of those things, yeah, sure, it's something to look at and be like, well, that's a little bit of an awkward build, but he won't die because of it, and it, in the long run, really won't affect him all that much because you throw out so many spell rotations on Rise. But one more time, I have to mention the fact that RNG seem to be much more confident in these lane swaps. It's something they worked on a lot after IEM, where they got their butt handed to them in lane swap situations like this due to clever Rift Herald use out of the European teams.
Yeah.
But they seem to have learnt very, very well from those mistakes, and they always do beat teams to the punch right now.
Yeah, and I actually quite like it here just because it is that adaptation, and it's not all about the Rift Herald anymore. As soon as they came back from IEM, it's like, let's just take Rift Herald all the freaking time. But now they seem to have sort of a complete idea of what this lane swap means and what they can get out of it here as well. And we've seen every iteration.
Yeah, certainly have. It looks like it will be answered quite quickly. Yeah, Dragon will be started off by RNG. Probably Rift Herald started off by Team WE. So pretty standard things, maybe a couple of seconds quicker in the tempo and a big CS discrepancy one more time in that mid lane. But everything is quiet on Summon and Rift.
It is. All is calm.
Let's have a look at the win condition. So a little bit more utility out of Name this time. We'll be able to throw Mata in there. Probably will force a QSS on the Poppy, as they can't actually do Rift Herald because LeBlanc is collapsing nice and quickly. So good heads-up play out of Xiaohu there.
Condu was also almost dead.
Yeah, I don't think that was as big as a factor because they did have Eye of the Storm for Janna. Would have probably been able to use Janna to tank it up quite nicely, but in the end, the effect is what counts. Yeah, so Xiaohu, he's going to be able to dive in there, but they also have the re-engage potential out of Name and Mata. And I really hope that that comes up huge in this game because Trundle is one of those people that you don't really see the synergy of throwing him in. But one weakness of Trundle is he doesn't have a gap closer. So
yeah.
We'll be given one of those by the Kalista.
It also means that you can get those really amazing backline killers that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get in certain situations based on terrain and where you are. As Xiaohu is going to eat a Rune Prison. Just
as you can see, so Xiaohu is cognizant of the fact that he needs to be much quicker on the trigger of these distortions this time around. Can't really patiently wait for it. Another gank this time onto the top lane. 957 in a little bit of trouble. That's a level 6 Graves.
He is so big. MLXG is owning this Graves play at the moment. He's just hunting down 957. Flashes on top of him. He's got collateral damage. Doesn't get stunned. He wants to be able to nail this ultimate as the creeps are actually being a little bit frustrating. He's walking the wrong direction. This may be a kill delivered as 957 was making sure he was tanking up creeps for as long as possible.
Has he got flash? Xiaohu.
Oh my god, that was so rude.
So Xiaohu flashed and MLXG took the kill. Actually disagree with that because MLXG already had pretty much enough from that. Hadn't burnt really all that much. Xiaohu, however, burns a summoner spell and gets nothing in response. So that's a little bit awkward for the RNG mid laner. He did waste a creep wave, gave a free back away from someone that he was absolutely dominating. But in saying that, Lupa 29 CS in the lead now. MLXG once again massive on another champion. So still good things for RNG, but maybe, I don't know. I don't agree with junglers taking kills like that.
Also not, I just don't agree with it after you've already invested a flash. I just think that's a little bit
ridiculous. That's what, if Xiaohu wasn't there and he burns the ultimate, 100% heads up play. MLXG definitely deserved the kill. But if Xiaohu's going to burn the flash, and that obviously is a communication, then you should give it over to the LeBlanc.
Yeah. Well, Abyssal Scepter is going to be the option here for Xiaohu. He's cleaning up underneath this turret very nicely. Just preparing all of the minions. As you would. So waiting for another 775 gold, and he will have that Abyssal Scepter done as WE. Round 2.
Yeah, but they're still not going to get it this time.
There's a ward in the back of the pit.
Yeah, right. Exactly right. And there's a level 7 jungler who wants to murder someone one more time.
Condy finally has hit level 6, but you're right. MLXG just always seems to have the jump on him as far as the levels are concerned, despite the slight farm discrepancy. Condy able to get himself a Rift Scuttler here as well. We'll see whether MLXG is just going to head back to the jungle, smack that one around a bit.
So it finally looks like they might get a Rift Herald for themselves. Although Name also heading down right now.
Mata is just right in there, trying to take that one down. Doing the best he can to corral. The pillar is going to wear off as the ultimate is going to go wide. 957 now trying to run away as Name doesn't have the Fate's Call just yet.
So Lupa has teleport, and they've completely split up this lineup. Ooh, everyone will kind of back away. Zero has been pinged out. He's so many pings actually going on to him right now. We get it. That's where he is. Can he get the execute is a real question.
Well, he's trying to. He's pretty fast as Name is going to find his way, and the exhaust is actually going to be used. I have a feeling Zero was probably going to die as there's the teleport coming in. Mata tanks up some of the culling. Yeah, Name could be in a bunch of trouble now as the exhaust does have to be used. MLXG right over the top. Parallel Convergence coming in. He flashes forward. They really want to kill Zero as Lupa does have the ultimate. Doesn't get any damage off with it, but now RNG back in a position of power. Xiaohu lands the chains. It locks down Jie. Is he going to be locked down in time? Is MLXG just going to melt? Xiaohu gets another round of spells, and Name picks up 957 as Mata is doing the best that he can, but he falls down. Double kill comes in as Condy launches himself on top. Oh my god, instant double kill comes in for Xiaohu as they even out the trade. This game is so scrappy.
Yeah, it certainly is a 3-for-3 in the end, but Xiaohu is massive right now on LeBlanc. 3-0 and 1, 2-0 and 1 for Mystic, who is also having a pretty good game, but that was scrappy play, Atlas, out of pretty much all the parties involved.
Everyone. Yeah, just ridiculous. Even Lupa jumping in there at the beginning. I'm going to save you, team. Oh, there's a really low health Janna. Get after her.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you don't play against Janna for long enough, is you realize that, oh, no, I can chase her down. Never. You can never chase down a Janna.
But some big items coming in right now. You can see that Xiaohu hasn't gone back and shopped just yet. Lupa is 2 levels above 957, but also hasn't really got back any of his health or mana, so it needs to be careful in these trades.
Just has so much more farm here as well, 54 to 31.
Yeah, that wave is pushing into him though, so 957 now has an opportunity to deny some farm from Lupa, just for a little bit. Mata has level 6.
Yeah, big deal. Mystic has a red buff, which is very scary.
And a BF sword and Swifty boot. So if you ever tag someone, they're not outrunning him.
You can see Name as well going for the Renowned Hurricane as item number 1.
Yeah, we've seen this quite a bit. Just if you want to control waves as opposed to actually killing people. Much better item. And against Lucian, you're going to be fairly non-interactive regardless, I feel.
Well, now in the standard lane, Name just happy to dance around as much as possible. Either Storm or Mystic means that RNG has to just flat out leave.
Yeah, he gives very little cares right now. They're sending everyone one more time into his lane. Here we go.
Yeah, in goes MLXG. Oh. They're going to try and lock him down, but there's the culling.
Xiaohu is behind them.
Yeah, they've got 3 people. Fate's Call comes down. Name almost out of the fight right now as Condy is going to be able to lock him down. Mata as well in trouble, but Xiaohu is going to finally make his way around. It's a fantastic Monsoon, but look at the Mimic Distortion. It just gets rid of the Lucian. Condy's going to get caught up. Xiaohu picks up another kill as MLXG's trying to get out. They're really looking for Xiaohu because he's the one doing all the work. Heads back to his Distortion. Nicely done from GA to make sure he's in the right position.
He got another!
Oh my god. Eventually falls down, but that's a triple kill for the LeBlanc.
Yeah, but a 3-for-3 trade, and they are starting to trade back, and that's a huge shutdown for Xie to pick up. So even though he has 1 kill only, and is 20 CS behind, so he's still in a pretty big hole, he will start making good things happen with it. And that just shows that, like, even though Xie was so late to that exchange, Xiaohu beat him by a good 5-10 seconds. The Janna Lucian combo is coming up trumps right now.
Yeah, looking very scary. Renan's Hurricane now completed, I guess, for Name, so he at least has wave clear on his side. But we'll see whether it is going to be enough. As we move further forward into this game, Essence Reaver is almost done here for Mystic, and he's moving pretty quick with those Swifty boots.
Zero also proved at the start of that fight that you can kind of wreck the LeBlanc stage with Janna. cancels the first distortion. The Mimic distortion is actually what cleaned up the AD carry. That's bad news because it means she only needs half the spells to kill Mystic.
Yep.
But once you get something like a Hex Drinker in there, will be a much better story. I'd like to actually see if he just goes Zeal into Hex Drink and then prioritizes Phantom Dancer afterwards.
Yeah. Well, we'll see exactly what he does decide to do. Of course, that Cull about to get himself some dividends. Only about 20 or so.
That's a 2-item LeBlanc
Yeah.
at 14 minutes into the game. With upgraded boots, yeah. Absolutely massive right now. Mystic. Probably holds all of the 2,000 gold advantage for his team. A little bit extra on Looper as well.
Yeah, the Echo is looking strong. Does have himself that Dark Seal and the Corrupted Potion combination there as well, which I like a lot. Has himself a Balmy Cinder. We'll see what he decides to finish first off, whether it is going to be the Sunfire Cape or whether he wants to get towards the Spirit Visage for the extra cooldown reduction and all of the good things that it gives Echo just in general. Or whether he now just leaves those two components and builds a Iceborne Gauntlet. Who knows?
Kind of has many choices right now.
Yeah.
Does have to back away from Mystic's Lucian still. As dive onto 957 one more time.
Yeah, speaking of backing away, 957, helicopter mode. Throws it down, MLXG is going to say goodbye, but Name able to take down this inner turret on the bottom side of the map.
But meanwhile in top lane, they are trying to respond in kind. Are not able to, however. Creep Wave runs out on them, even though Condi has that Rift Herald buff. So overall, big net gain there for RNG. They move 2,000 gold into the lead.
Yeah, Looper with a little bit more ranged wave clear. Really working out here for the Echo with the Time Winder. See where they're going to take it from here. Jahu's still controlling the mid lane as MLXG is going to make his way around as well. Turret could be under fire as chains are going to land. Zero. Riven Storm is available, but what the hell is that damage? That was a Mimic Q, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. If that was just a regular Q, I would eat my hat. I'm not wearing a hat, so I'd have to go and find it, and that'd be frustrating for everyone. 2.2k is the lead here for RNG.
They're a turret up, so that's 1,000 of the gold, but still pretty far ahead, just off the 611 LeBlanc. You can see though, yeah, quite comfortable with wave clear right now.
Yeah, he's got the classic sort of, not necessarily money scaling build anyway. Like, you've just got a Rod of Ages, you only need to wait now 8 minutes, and that one's going to be sorted out. That tier is going to consistently stack. And just probably in the next 8 minutes, whether he makes himself enough money to build a Seraph's Embrace, he'll be more than happy.
Yeah, he certainly will be. We see that two people collapsing onto Mystic. What they don't know is that there is another member up there, and double teleport is about to come back off cooldown. Condi's actually given up the whole gig by just empowering the creeps.
That's a little bit silly.
Pretty sure they've figured it out. Sorry, far out. I'm needlessly large rod.
Yep. Deathfire Grasp has been picked up here from Jahu in the mid lane, if only. And what do we think that that's going to be?
I would like
Death
it to be, right now, he's probably going to go towards Illudens if we've seen anything from Xiaohu. With how fed he is, he does like the item just for the immediate peak. I think that something like a Deathcap or a Zhonya's would be a little bit more suited. Zhonya's because if he does throw himself in there, it means he can double distortion onto the whole team. Yeah. And because he is the fed one, if he chunks them out, then Name can clean up the fight. So Zhonya's would be quite handy in that regard. The Deathcap just because I think that if he double distorts with the Deathcap at this point in the game, everyone dies. So he doesn't need the Zhonya's Hourglass. But also Luden's Echo means he can kill Mystic whenever he wants.
Well, we'll see whether he can actually get that one done. As you can see, Looper heading back towards the bottom lane, answering the split push of the Poppy. 20 CS still the difference between those two, but items very even. Nothing really to write home about. Jahu actually getting contained here for the moment by GA, who's built up some wave clear for himself. More than fine.
Ryze is a 2-item time bomb right now. As long as he's able to farm unimpeded, you can't really kill him because he's quite a tanky dude. He just farms up to his 2 items and then starts to take over the map. That's why he's so popular right now. There is no downside to Ryze. He is a pretty good scaling mage. He's not hyper scaling anymore, but he's very well scaling mage that peaks at 2 items, has wave clear, has movement speed.
Okay, so Jahu can outsmite a Nidalee.
LeBlanc can do that pretty much from level 6. Yeah.
That was impressive. Yeah, actually going to get tagged by a spear. This turret going very, very low as MLXG. Pretty tanky right now. Looper actually does a little bit of a drive-by. And I think the Graves makes a lot of the difference here. RNG just seem to play more confidently around it as Condi has been caught out of position. Collateral damage, not going to be able to find anything right as I'm talking about how comfortable they are on the Graves.
Yeah, Xiaohu nearly dies, however.
Yeah, that spear, if that had connected, he may have actually just died.
Yeah, and all of a sudden in the top lane, this Lucian is starting to chip away at the inner, so trying to close out that gold lead a little bit. Gets distracted by the Krugs. Of course, disappearing to fog of war, always a good thing when no one is visible on the mat. And, whoop, they've spotted him.
Yeah, dashes out of the way, Mata.
Like ships in the night.
Indeed. Well, Marmate's still looking for his 2-item power spike here as well. Blade of the Wrong King almost completed. And this Kalista will be at a very good spot.
But if you're at an even pace with a 2-item... The reason you like the 2-item spike so much, gives you lifesteal and it's cheaper, right?
Yep.
If you're at the same pace as a crit user, bad.
Ah.
And right now, 2-item spike achieved by Mystic. So Mystic's still stronger than the Kalista.
Well, we'll see whether Name can navigate himself around some team fights a little bit better. Try and account for that. Of course,
and it is going to be Zhonya. So I really like the build out of Xiaohu. I think that this is incredibly smart. Merc treads have been picked up by Xie, however. So I think that he nearly can even just run over the top of the LeBlanc. Not because of anything Xiaohu does. I mean, if Xiaohu lands a chains, there's a good chance he just kills him outright anyway. But just because of Rise things.
Yep, just because of Rise things, yep.
Oh, Condi.
Zero going to get tagged by a Q, but Xiaohu.
That's the other thing they can do is just hunt out Zero, because Zero is such a big part of this composition right now. Mata also has taken half his health. Of course, he's a little bit tankier right now on Trundle. But I feel like Zero's disengage is key against the LeBlanc. So if LeBlanc's just able to kill Zero, mission accomplished. They can probably clean up the back end of the team fight.
Yeah. Well, now MLXG looking to try and start off this dragon. Please clear out the vision here as well. Is MLXG going to get knocked back? Mystic, cheeky auto attack.
Yeah, it gets knocked back towards Mystic, and it pops the Sterix. That's horrible news right there for MLXG.
That is a big deal.
Yeah, massive. Against Rise, having a Sterix is pretty crucial. Still has a Hex Drinker, but bad news.
Well, they are back in the pit now as well. RNG, 5 members strong. See whether they can actually pull it out here, whether they are going to be able to rip the sticks out of it as well. Mata again, another spear. And 957 thinks this is the time to go. Dragon
also out.
Yeah, and they're just going to go back, give this one up.
Burn and Ultimate actually now lose inside track on mid lane. No wave clear will be there in time. This might actually be WE, who are 3,000 gold down pretty much, closing some of that gap.
Yeah. Name, he's back in base. MLXG as well. A fumble there on the Dragon will lose them even more. And that would have been third Dragon. That's a big deal. Massive moving distortion there as Xiaohu in a bunch of trouble. Mata just going to get exploded. My God, that was very close to him falling down. Subjugate actually saving his life there.
Lupa actually teleported in. They want this, but they've sent 2 members back. And WE are unrelenting.
Yep. Once again, Lupa is going to be able to throw in the parallel convergence, but WE just ignoring it.
Name gets chunked out. This is going to be a tier 2.
Yeah, everyone's chunked. My God, WE. A team on a mission.
Yeah, and when Mata, still looking for the flank.
Not Lupa.
When Mata is the next tankiest member, but he's level 7 against level 12s on the map, Lupa actually needs to be in front of his tank line because he can't get the flank. They're not a front to back comp in the sense of the word that, you know, they need to draw up battle lines and they have a control mage behind them, but they still need someone to tank the initial damage that's going to come out of Rise. This time it was Xiaohu, double distorts in, but Xie just grabs him by the scruff, holds him there, and honestly, Mystic beat him up a little bit. Had to send him back to base. With that, they lose all their wave clear, and this is a problem with the composition. All of what they have is committal.
Yeah.
Throwing Trundle in there. Xiaohu throwing himself in there. Everything is committal. Going for it again.
Oh my God, Rune Prison. So aptly named. Xiaohu is going to get his passive popped. He's going to head back to base here as well. Zero getting some decent vision down.
So it's back within 100 gold, Atlas. And RNG were dominating the earlier stage of this game. When you have a 6-1-1 LeBlanc from what? 14 minutes, 15 minutes in the game?
Yeah, possibly
should be
earlier.
Horrible news for the enemy support player, for everything that this composition has put together. But MR starting to be picked up. You can see 2 Rod of Ages stacking. Bless you. Spirit Visage picked up. Hexdrinker now picked up. It's going to be Abyssal picked up for the Nidalee as well. They're starting to get the items to deal with it. And, as I said, even though the tier was delayed, as soon as it was upgraded into a Seraph, Archangels, outright Seraph.
Yep.
So Ryze has now well and truly arrived in this party.
Mystic still in trouble, but thankfully Condi's there. Does have the Primal Surge. Will keep him healthy.
Yeah, that's a big deal. As long as he doesn't dive, we'll be able to participate in these team fights. That's why Hexdrinker is pretty good pickup right now. 957 has teleport advantage, so they're just going to split push on the bottom side of the map. And one more time, MLXG taking sideway farm. And I don't know if Graves is the same kind of carry.
Well, fingers crossed for RNG fans that he is, because he does often get a heck of a lot of the farm for a lot of the teams that use Graves sort of religiously, looking at teams like Vici, and now RNG, especially in this series. Zero.
Mystic
going to be wandering around.
Massive.
He has been. Over the last 2 games, Mystic has really come into his own.
And you know, Zero has to be complimented one more time. Looks like he's going back more towards his Bard build.
Yep,
potentially Banner going to be built up, although Locket would make a heck of a lot of sense against this LeBlanc.
Although, extra shields does seem to be something that Zero would be pretty keen on as a Janna. As Looper now going for a bit of a fight here under 957 on the bottom side of the map. And this is going to take a while.
Once again, I don't know if anyone actually wins this fight, because 957 runs over, picks up his buckler. They both stay in combat, so they just get grasped the Undying proc so much. And if Looper looks like he's about to lose, he just ults himself. If 957 thinks he's going to lose, he just ults Looper.
Yeah. And Looper theoretically just ults himself back in, but often a little bit difficult to tell exactly where he's going to be. Come on, man. What is going on here?
Not much is the response to that question, Atlas.
Yeah.
However, we will watch it until something happens, says the spectator. Take me mid lane, please.
Yeah, get us in there. Let's watch Mystic farm. See whether Jahu just kills him.
No. There he is.
See? I mean, at least that farming's a little bit more satisfying.
It's quicker. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. Well, Ryze is on the top side of the map. What is overall ward does Jahu? Mystic throws an Ardent Blaze out. Lets him know that he's been spotted. This outer turret in the mid lane has been on very low health for a very long time.
Certainly has been, but now WE is in that position where they're down in gold but up in turret, so they need to be careful that they don't lose a fight, because mid lane very low. And it would be a quick push onto tier 2 at 26 minutes into the game.
Well, Mystic, with that Hexdrinker, actually able to shrug off that damage a little bit more than he'd otherwise like to. A little bit more than he otherwise would be able to.
Xie is also massive at this stage of the game. You know, he's still down in items, but with that Negatron Cloak, there's no way that he dies to Xiaohu right now. And I just don't see where the damage comes through in this composition if it isn't Xiaohu. Double defensive items picked up from MLXG. Sure, he'll do good damage. Graves always does. But it's not something like a rapid fire cannon.
Yeah. And the Kalista nowhere near as powerful as she wants to be at
Not
this
at
stage
all.
of the game
Kalista's
as well.
actually pretty lackluster right now. But they are collapsing finally onto 957, looking for a pick. 3 members down there. Burns a flash. You can tell that all from summoner spells. Meanwhile, Xiaohu still chilling out.
Yeah, inside track going to be gained. Here's WE sort of just moving around the dragon. They, of course, managed to get the last one, so the objective not exactly a big deal at the moment.
It's more the team fight they're looking for, because they're strong right now. See whether they're able to find it, or if they just settle for inside track onto mid lane. I really think they should be fighting this dragon. Xie a little bit out of position. Here we go.
Oh my god, how did you steal that from a Kalista?
All right, so the drive-by out of Italy. Hopfly wall hops out of the other side, Atlas.
What the hell?
If you don't mind, I'll be taking that. Condi, once again, stepping up, getting better as this series progresses. And now with a big wave starting to stack on top of the side of the map, they might look for another objective. No, Condi just cleans the jungle instead. And you have to think that MLXG, he was smashing Condi in the first couple of the games. Not really the same case right now.
Yeah,
although it doesn't check that bruh.
Yeah, so Pink Ward survives. Otherwise, things should be fine. As Yahoo going to distort his way over the top of this minion line. You can see still a massive CS advantage, but he'll go back to base. We'll see what he can build up next, whether it is going to be something like a Void Stuff.
Void Stuff, yeah. He's going to be the blasting one. Pink Ward, good job. So yeah, it needs to be Void Stuff. Abyssal needs to come out of Xie, you feel right now?
Yep.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if it was a GA, just for some persistent threat as well.
Yeah, I'd like it.
And they're in a pretty good position. Iceborne Gauntlet has been finished by Looper, but is about to be responded to in kind by 957. And it's just 80 carry. And honestly, jungler right now for WE, pretty strong versus top lane and mid lane for RNG.
And I honestly feel like 957 and Looper are almost interchangeable at this stage.
Yeah, Iceborne Gauntlet picked up, so I completely agree with you. Depends whether you want a team fighter or... Oh, there we go.
Oh, just trying to get some cheeky turret damage. Oh, is able to get it.
But now Name chunked out. Rise in the top lane, looking to pick up a turret for himself. If it was a tier 1 for a tier 2, definitely worthwhile trade. But don't really want to commit to it. Instead, maybe looking for a team fight.
Yeah, Marta actually moving pretty quickly here towards 0, but gets past the pillar. And RNG just can't manage to orchestrate a fight in the way that they want.
Teleport actually going into the top lane. Here comes 957 as well.
Yeah, Looper going to try and close the gap here onto this one as Parallel Convergence comes in. He's slowed down, but he's not going to get stunned just yet.
957 cancelled it.
Yeah, MLXG is going to make his way in. There's the smoke screen. So much damage as he does pop the Seraphs. The flash forward. There it is. Collateral damage.
957, why did you cancel the teleport? Now he has to foot it up there anyway. It got him an extra creep wave. Not a great call. Kalista's going to have some twigs into Baron, you feel. This could be a huge turnaround for RNG.
Yeah, they jump straight on top of it here as the ultimate comes out of 957. He shoots him over his head, but 0, he's been caught out of position. The sticks are going to jump in. Name's going to pick up the first kill as Mystic's trying to run away. It's a 3 versus 5. There's 957 is eating damage. They do manage to kite their way out.
But one more time, Baron is the objective. Face checking a LeBlanc is going to be dangerous. Rise still has about 10 seconds left before he is available.
Teleport's going to be up when he does come in, though, so 8 seconds. They need to take this very quickly.
Look at the Baron teleport as well. 3.
Oh, Xiaohu in so much trouble, but does have the Zhonya's Hourglass. He's trying to get out of here. The distortion is going to do it, but it's stolen from Condi one more goddamn time. As Looper's now on top of him, Name's going to get destroyed. WE always relying on their jungler, and they can do so this time around. MLXG, it's all falling apart.
Yeah, like a house of cards, they get the Baron. It was a Guardian Angel picked up for Xie as well. So he is massive now. And they've got the Baron buff, 2 are dead. 2 more blinking health bars, and WE looking to break the base. I don't understand it either. Kalista, Graves, so much damage there. Xiaohu zones out 3 members. But all of a sudden, Condi just pounces into that pit, grabs it. They're not done. They want the game.
Yeah, they're looking for it here. Baron Dot minions are going to be streaming in. Of course, 2 still dead. MLXG and Name. These Nexus turrets not long for the world. Marta and Looper just don't really know what to do. Xiaohu will have some Mimic Distortions, but 957's doing work with the Steadfast Presence. Able to get some work done on a Mystic, but look at how quickly he returns his health. Nexus turret's going to fall down. Looper now as well, falling low. Marta's going to die. Nexus is gone. And WE are headed for the reverse sweep.
Yeah, all of a sudden a game 5. And WE fans, keep your dreams.
Yeah.
Because this team just does not give up. They're unrelenting in how quickly they come back in series.
And RNG looking a little bit ironically named at this stage because it was all fine and games. You know, like they had 2-0, looking great, ready, like poised for that 3-0 victory. Then they sort of gave up last 2 games.
No, I don't know if they gave up. I think that they were...
I was
I know
heading for the irony as quickly as possible.
Fishing for it hard, and I'm not going to give it to you.
Damn it.
Because I think this time around, it was kind of that everything went onto this LeBlanc pick. And, you know, I said go for the Zhonya's because I thought he was going to play aggressively with it. But they just shut up shop.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a 6-1 LeBlanc, you should be looking to kill 0 at every opportunity. Just dive in there. Get your man, because you only need 3 summoner spells. Hit Zhonya's, allow people to collapse around you. But Xiaohu, for the first time this series, looked like he was faltering. Mystic on the other team, however, on WE, is just a man possessed at the moment.
Yeah.
And Mystic and 0 playing hard carry right now, with Condi finally arriving in the series.
Yeah, and managing to pick up every single smite that mattered that game.
But think about game 2. Like, MLXG bullied him out of his jungle. Kindred wasn't sated until like 26 minutes in.
No, he was a non-factor. He basically didn't exist.
Lost his entire control of the game. Probably was one of the major factors in losing that one.
Yeah.
But this time around was able to come up with the goods, and it's just a swing of momentum that they were finally looking for.
Exactly right. And we've seen reverse sweeps happen so incredibly often because you do get that momentum shift. WE now, they're the ones that are throwing all the punches, and it's sort of RNG now sitting in the corner doing this, trying to defend themselves. And it's not working, and they're just getting stuff stolen from them. How do you, like, come out of a game?
I'm sorry, I can't get past the boxing impersonation still. Yeah, not good.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, no. They had a Callista and a Graves. They lose a Baron and then immediately lose the game. What are they talking about now backstage?
Yeah, it's just about refining the execution, right? The idea was there. They had a really good composition this time around. I liked what they were trying to achieve, but they just mis-executed. And in these big games, you can't afford for that to happen. RNG, very experienced lineup, like Marta, Lupa, Name.
Yeah.
You know, they've been in situations like this before, I'm sure. They have Insect backstage. Like, all these players are not shy from big situation. It's just about, you know, we didn't play how we want to play. Forget about that game. This time around, we're going to get something similar, but this time we're going to execute.
Yeah, and this time they do have the first pick. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going to Game 5. We do have a very short break, but when we get back, the first semi-final will draw to a close.